big game changer is that 5G will use much higher frequency bands than previously thought viable for mobile broadband and other applications. Such millimeter wave signals have physical properties that are both a limitation and a strength. They tend to travel best in narrow and straight lines, and they do not go through physical objects as well. But brilliant engineers have developed new antennas that can aim and amplify signals. Now, to make this work, the 5G build-out is going to be very infrastructure intensive, requiring massive deployment of small cells. I'm confident that the apps will lead to a cornucopia of unanticipated, innovative uses and will generate tens of billions of dollars in economic activity. And that's damn important, because it means that U.S. companies will be the first out of the gate. And that is why 5G is a national priority.
Yeah, have you ever heard of a point cloud? It's pretty relevant to what I'm going to be talking about today, so it's quite important that you understand what it is, so I'm going to demonstrate using these funny guys. Have you ever seen these before? It's the weird dinosaurs in Crystal Palace. So it's very windy today. I hope it's not screwing up the audio. So presuming that worked, you should be able to see what's called a point cloud, like a sort of vague, low definition impression of what is there in reality. And that's the sort of thing that actually the 5G network will make much better quality.
Unlike some countries, we do not believe that we should spend the next couple of years studying what 5G should be or how it should operate. The future has a way of inventing itself. Turning innovators loose is far preferable to expecting committees and regulators to define the future.
Whereas what really interests me about it is its use by the surveillance services. Because the thing about 5G, or rather what they say is the pitfall, or one of the pitfalls of 5G, is that it is easily absorbed by everything, which means it doesn't pass through stuff like ordinary radio signals might. So they have to have, or they're going to have, you know, a mast every 100 meters or whatever to make sure that everybody can get covered in electromagnetics. But that piqued my interest because, of course, if specifically anything moving between, say, your mobile phone and the nearest mobile phone mast, if that is absorbing the signal and there's disruption in the signal or a dimming in the signal that the mast receives, that can actually be used to create a point cloud and therefore image anything that is there. And if they're going to be every 100 meters everywhere we go, that means the surveillance services will have the ability to essentially construct a 3D representation of what is there in real life, essentially on a live basis, but also forensically. So say something happened, although of course we know that all the CCTV cameras generally when something happens accidentally don't work, so don't expect transparency on this. But it just means forensically they can look back at the record of all of the electromagnetic happenings, the dimming, the little blips that happen in the grass when something moves in between two broadcasting and receiving objects. And yeah, forensically they can look back and basically reconstruct three-dimensional live, almost like video footage even if there's no CCTV camera there. Which I think is particularly interesting and most probably is one of the most enticing things for the powers that be to make sure that the 5G network happens. And unfortunately, this is the way that it goes, is that they're not so much going to be using the masts, but it's the interaction between the mast and your phone. So your phone is going to be now not just the thing that follows you about and tells them where you're going and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be used against other people. So people's phones will essentially be spying now not on them, but also on everyone else, or helping them to create a very high definition image of everything around it.
We won't wait for the standards. We're already seeing the industry gearing up to seize this opportunity. Verizon and AT&T tell us they'll begin deploying 5G trials in 2017. And the first commercial deployments they're talking about are expected in 2020. And we're not done. As part of our July 14 action, we also plan to ask for comments on opening up other high-frequency bands. Many of the high-frequency bands that we will make available for 5G currently have some satellite users, as well as some Defense Department applications, or at least the possibility of future satellite and defense users. This means sharing will be required between satellite and terrestrial wireless, an issue that is especially relevant in the 28 gigahertz band. But if anyone tells you that they know the details of what 5G is going to become, run the other way. If something can be connected, it will be connected. Hundreds of billions of microchips connected in products from pill bottles to plant waterers. We must reject the notion that the 5G future will be the sole providence of urban areas. The 5G revolution will touch all corners of our country. A lot more antenna siting decisions by local governments and tightened our shot clock for siting application reviews. America's local governments will play an important role in determining how we fulfill this national priority. You can be sure of only one thing. The biggest Internet of Things application has yet to be imagined.
I can only say that for the benefit of humanity, please put your phone on airplane mode.